Hey y'all, welcome back. So today is a exciting day. We are going to harvest the Tahitian melon squash, and that is something that Reagan planted. And this is Reagan, by the way, and you hear me talk about him on the channel pretty much on every video almost. So this is something that he planted from seed. This is a winter squash variety. And now it's finally time to harvest, so we just want to take y'all along and we hope y'all enjoy it. So let's go. You can see the seeds on the sunflowers now. And last time you really couldn't see it. Okay, so where did you order these seeds from?
So I first heard about it from another garden show called Garden Like a Viking. He always talks about different vegetables and was interested by these. So I got them from Baker Creek. You can get them at rareseeds.com. And so...
Oh, it's considered a rare seed?
I guess it's kind of a rare seed. I've never heard of it before. But anyways...
Me neither.
They think it came from Tahiti, but they're not exactly sure. But anyways, they call them Tahitian melon squash, and they're a winter squash. So the cool thing about them is they get really huge. They're kind of just considered a survival crop, as they can last for over a year if they're cured properly. So they're considered a survival crop, as in if you cure them properly, they can last for over a year on the shelf in a cool and dry place. So you got to cure them. So once we cut them off the vines, we got to let them cure in the sun for a week, and we'll alternate turning them over every day. So once they're cured, they should last on the shelf for over a year, which makes them a good survival crop. And the really cool thing about them is because they're so large, if you cut a portion of it off, the squash will develop a skin over it, so it will still last for a couple more days even after you cut into it. So it develops that skin and protects it, so you don't even have to put it in the refrigerator after you cut it.
And we're gonna experiment with that and see if that's true or not. Yeah, so with any winter squash, you wanna make sure that the vine is dead, and that is clearly, that's clearly dead. And you can tell that it's brown. Look at that.
So this is about as big as they get. Actually, I've been told they can get up to about 20 pounds, but I'm not sure how much this one weighs individually. We'll weigh it in just a little bit.
Oh yeah, we can weigh all of them together too.
The seeds are down here at the bottom, so you can just cut off as much as you want as you need it, and the skin will develop at that spot.
So you can eat this part too? Yeah,
so you'll cut each portion where you're wanting to eat it. And so you prepare it just like you would a butternut squash.
Yeah, I'm excited to taste the difference.
So another way to tell that it's ready is when it first starts growing, this squash is green, and when it slowly starts turning yellow. So if you were wondering if it's if it's ready yet, you would look at the vine. This one is still a little green, but we can also see how it's green right there.
Yeah.
But we'd also look at the squash itself, and if it's not ready yet, the skin is still very fragile, and you can easily put a hole. So I'm making a little indentation, but it's not easily going through, so it's ready.
And the color difference too between.
So see how that one right there is completely brown and dry. Although the squash isn't near as big as the other one, but I also didn't fertilize it like probably I should have.
So you technically could leave this one.
We could leave that one, yes.
If you wanted to. I've seen people cut them with the green on there too, though.
It's a little fragile. It probably needs another week on. We lost this one.
Oh,
Somebody
no.
got a hold of it.
Oh man. Well, at least that was a small one.
So as you can see, I don't know if you can see inside there. So I guess that's where all the seeds are. So I guess I could collect it and get the seeds out of it.
I wonder if it's like anything else, you want to save the seeds from the biggest.
I guess the seeds are about the same size. This one's a monster.
Oh wow. So does that one have a brown stem?
I think it's ready.
Wow. Hold that one up. That looks good.
This one came off, so it's got to be ready.
Did it just fall off?
Yeah, pretty much it fell off.
Are there any more? It's like a jungle in here now.
So
Oh.
my tomatoes, they were an experiment, but they didn't make it. It was too hot.
Oh wow. You didn't even have to cut that one?
Yeah, that one was ready for sure. So this was originally 2 plants, and I didn't. Apparently, the vines can get up to about 96 feet long.
Oh my words.
And each vine can grow about 100 pounds worth of food on it. So,
100 pounds worth of food?
100 pounds is what they said. Probably shouldn't have planted them so close together, but I ran out of space and I wanted to get them in the ground, and I couldn't bear not using one of the plants that I grew. So I had 3 and I needed 3 places to put it, so I just put them side by side. But you can see that these on the ground have the more the curved neck. If they're grown on a trellis, they're going to grow straighter, and we'll show you an example of that in just a second.
This one right here, we'll just leave that one, and it'll probably be another week until we harvest it. But there they are. So this was off of 2 plants, and I say for just an experiment, that was pretty good. You think?
Our first try, and obviously we didn't keep the weeds back. Didn't fertilize them. I live 30 minutes away, so I didn't get down here as near as often as I would like. So it kind of got away from us. But for a first try, I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah. So Reagan, he would have to drive all the way down here, so he can't come here every day to do garden stuff. So most of the time he'll come down on the weekends, and then he'll come on a weekday if he has to. But yeah, we're gonna have to start getting the garden ready for fall. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to, look at all of that. Wow.
So as I was saying, the ones that, even though it's in the trellis, it grew up on, we grew this one outside the fence, so we needed something to protect it from the rabbits and other animals. So I put this little fencing around it, and it grew over it. So as you can see, it kind of has some trellis-like qualities to it.
These are definitely
dead. It's ready to be picked. It's got a little sharp on the sides, so. So yeah, this one was definitely ready. And you can see actually where I checked it a few times. That's where my thumbprint, my fingernail went through it, and it scabbed over.
Oh look, hang on, let me zoom in. It healed itself.
So it healed itself, and
well, that's cool.
so as you can see, the other ones were curved because they were growing on the ground, but if you trellis them, they grow straight.
And the vine grew up over this fence, and then the fruit or vegetable just, is this a fruit or a vegetable? I guess it'd be a vegetable because it's a squash.
They call it a melon squash, but I guess
Yeah, so it's a melon squash, so it's like
I guess it's more like just a winter squash.
So that one completely broke off.
This one broke off, but it looks like it broke off because of that. So it looks like it has some little insect damage. So we'll see if anything of that salvage. We'll let it cure, and then we could do this one as our cooking video. We can cut off and see if it's too totally damaged, and we'll go from there.
So even if you have bug damage, you can just cut right there, and then there may not be anything wrong with the rest of it.
Yeah, but they say it's best to use it within a week or two of
if there's a bug.
cutting into it. So even though the skin develops and you can leave it on the shelf, I guess you could cut it up and freeze it and store it that way. But if you're wanting to cook with it, or you know,
Look at those. It's like an instrument. So this
one
was
is
just
by far the largest.
And this was just one plant that was put in here. And you didn't fertilize this at all. So when he planted that plant, he went ahead and just put leaves down at the bottom to keep the weeds out, which clearly did a really good job.
So I think that's
keeping the
probably why
weeds.
these got so big, is because they didn't have to fight the weeds near as bad. But all I did was put some blood meal and some bone meal in it whenever I planted it, and that's all I did.
Look at the color difference between that one and that one. That one's like, even though it is ready, it's more yellow.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably the smallest of the bunch over here.
And putting this fence right here did work with keeping stuff out. Yeah, because we do have rabbits. I can put in a picture of a rabbit that we found back here. Oh, wow. Is that the biggest one? Oh, my words.
Looks like we did get a little bit of some, I guess some kind of worm get in there. So
I
hopefully
guess you could cut around it.
So we'll just have to see about that one. So this isn't too bad for just one plant and not really doing anything with it.
And there we have it. That is all one plant that was planted in the very back. Those are so cool. So when I came out here earlier, I noticed that we have something growing out of the compost, and there are some blooms, and there's something right there. I'm not sure if that's watermelon or cantaloupe, but I know I've dumped both back there. So I guess we will just find out. So we're gonna go ahead and get all of these Tahitian melon squash and weigh them. Look, it's like hooked onto my arm. Grandmama will be excited to see these.
So do we have much basket weighs?
Really, probably not a lot. Oh my goodness. Oh my words. 40?
About 40 pounds worth of squash, and really all I did to them was just the initial blood meal and bone meal, and that was it. So I pretty much left them alone, and they did all that on their own.
So this is the biggest one, and it alone was 6 pounds, right under, a little bit under 6 pounds.
And I guess that's a letdown since they can get up to about 20 pounds, but they said the average is usually about 10 pounds, but they can get up as large as 20 pounds.
So now we're gonna check on the butternut squash.
So this one's still, you think, green?
Yeah, that's still green.
As you can see, the garden got away from us this summer, and we always say we're not going to do anything this summer because it's so hot. It's 7 o'clock and it's still 91 degrees, and you can see I'm melting. So
It's 91 degrees right now.
yeah, I'm not even sure what the heat index is for us since we're down here on the Gulf, and so they're not quite ready yet.
Yeah, so if your winter squash is still a pale color and the vine is still healthy and green, it is not time to pick it yet. You want to wait till those vines are brown and dead. So there is a butternut squash over here that is ready. And that vine is completely dead, brown. Is it firm? Like if you do your
It looks like
finger.
we got
Oh, there's one up under there too, but it's,
still green.
yeah.
I wonder if this one's green and brown because of Looks like something got to it.
Oh, like a vine borer or
Get the
something.
scissors.
Here's an update on the sunflowers. And I don't know if you can tell, but you can finally see the sunflower seeds. So we would definitely want to save the seeds from that one because that one got like...
This one?
No, the other one over there, it was the biggest. So this one right here was 9 feet. So that one had to be...
Well, I'm 6'2".
But when the sunflower was standing straight up, I guess you could say 12 feet maybe?
Maybe.
When the sunflower was all the way up. So if you know about sunflowers, can you let me know what needs to be done? I thought these were supposed to be left here and then that the seeds would just kind of like fall to the ground. But am I supposed to cut the flower off? And I've even seen people cut the flower off and cook it. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so I've seen people even cut those off and then grill it, and then they bite into it. So I would like to save the seeds from these. I just don't know very much. This is the first time I've ever grown sunflowers. So if you know much about them, I would really appreciate your advice. So we're going to check on the sweet potatoes. I have not checked on these since they've gotten like this. So we're just gonna, I guess we could probably find down there and maybe we could fill around to see if there's anything down there. We're at 60 plus days now, so there may not be hardly.
See all the roots in there. I don't feel anything down there yet. I don't want to disturb it too much.
So here is the sweet potato bed. All of that, and hopefully that will be a nice harvest from that. These are 2 different varieties. Wow, look at how tiny these are.
So pretty sure that these are probably done. These are the Queen of Malanaco Tomatillos. So the regular ones you probably see in the store are the Salsa Verde, the Verde Tomatillos, the green tarts, and people use them to make the Salsa Verde.
So what variety was this one?
This was Queen of Malanaco. I heard of this one from Urban Homestead. It's a guy out in Sacramento, and he talks very highly of these, so I wanted to try them, and they really did taste just like you said. You just want to snack on them.
And they were yellow instead of green.
Yeah, they're yellow, and they taste almost kind of like a mixture of tastes like a bell pepper / pineapple. Instead of the tomato you look in the inside, it looks more like a bell pepper.
I have a short video on that if you want to see what that looked like. Yeah, but I guess those are done. And those plants got huge. They just like grew out. Like the sweet potatoes are growing. The sweet potatoes are growing in here.
And I also got these from Baker Creek catalog as well. I think that's one of the few places. You can probably Google them, and a lot of places don't have them, but Baker Creek did. But they're going to be under the name of Chupon de Malanaco.
So we're gonna see, these peppers are also peppers that Reagan grew. And you grew these from seed?
Yeah, I grew all these from seeds. So this was actually a gift. These are cayenne peppers. I have a patient of mine that he grows his own cayenne peppers and makes pepper sauce out of them. And so he gave me some pepper sauce and also gave me some seeds. So I planted these, and I think I got 2 of them right here. So you got a few that are ready right there. You can dry these and dehydrate them, and you can grind them up and make a powder and make pepper sauce out of them.
So when they're red, they're ready?
Yes. So these actually did pretty good. Again, I didn't do anything extra with these.
They're pretty.
Just the blood meal and the bone meal, and that's all that they had. Here's the jalapeno peppers. They're always a good grower. Pretty nice size. Again, I don't think we did anything special with these either. Here's the other cayenne peppers. You can see they're starting to turn. And they're very prolific. They grow like crazy. These are the Jaworski peppers that I also got from Baker Creek. When they're ready, they're ripe, they'll turn bright red. They're
So
sweet.
this
They
one's
taste like a sweet bell pepper. So this is the already turning red right here. This is a Jaworski pepper.
but that's not ready yet. It needs
No,
to be
not
bright
quite.
red.
Just a little. See a little green right there, starting to turn bright red. That's what color it will turn. So apparently these are very popular in the Balkan region. So they like to
In the what region?
Balkans, the Croatia and North Macedonia area. So apparently they smoke them and add them with smoked eggplant, and they turn into a kind of like a type of their version of hummus. And they eat it with bread. And so I tried one today at my house, and they're really sweet and they have really good taste.
I do not want to taste it.
So I've been hearing a lot about Peppergate. A lot of people are ordering peppers that aren't what they ordered. So at least I know for a fact that I got the right ones. So as these were a gift, and my Jaworski peppers turned out like they were. But a lot of people also saying that they're growing jalapenos that aren't hot, so we'll see.
Is it hot?
See the sweat?
It's not as hot as this temperature out here.
Probably a little bit hotter than a jalapeno pepper. But you think Grandma wants her jalapeno peppers?
Yeah.
Mouth's still burning.
I'm not a fan of hot peppers.
I
Probably
like
the
to cook a
hottest.
lot with cayenne pepper. And,
See, I want to grow paprika peppers.
well, apparently that's what a lot of people do with the Jaworski peppers. They'll grill them, smoke them, then they'll dehydrate them and ground them into paprika. And Garden Like a Viking, he's got a really good episode on that too. I know I mentioned him before. If you want to go check out his video, he's got some really good stuff on there about growing organically and organic home fertilizers, and a lot of good information on there too.
So from 3 plants, 40 pounds of squash. You can tell different sizes here. And if it was just one family, 40 pounds would be plenty to get you through the winter if you're growing another variety.
Especially if you fertilize in the right way and keep the weeds down. I'm pretty sure we could have probably doubled, if not tripled, our production.
And so with that being just 3 plants, technically if you put that in a certain area of your yard, it probably wouldn't take up much space. It doesn't have to have a lot of space because that one in the back was just that round little circle area.
Was told to keep them away from your corn because they do grow the vines do grow so much that they actually pull your corn down. So if you're going to grow it, you don't want to grow it on the ground, just have a dedicated trellis for them.
Yeah, so that is the harvest of the Tahitian melon squash. And if you're interested, I can put in the description where he got these seeds from, and you can check that out. But for now, we're going to go set these out to cure, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we will see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.